Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I wanted to show you my KLH 195. This is a 286 clone running a 286 processor clocked at 12 megahertz. It comes with 1 meg of RAM installed, an EGA video card, and I have an XT IDE card that allows me to run a CF card. Also, I have a Sound Blaster Pro installed, and for the monitor I have an Unisys EGA monitor. It's a pretty cool monitor. This monitor is actually featured in the movie Big, that Tom Hanks movie, and you can see this monitor in action at the beginning of the movie when the kid is playing that wizard game. So if you want, you can check it out. And yeah, it's a great monitor. And also in the front here we have 5¼ inch floppy drive and a 3½ inch floppy drive. The 5¼ is not working right now, but yeah, I'm probably gonna fix it one of these days or swap it. And there we have the KLH logo, which you can find in all their audio equipments. The keyboard, it's your basic clicky PS2 keyboard. I like it that it matches the computer and in the monitor. All right, so let's take a look at the insides. I'll show you, and take a look at some games that I have installed here. All right guys, so let's take a look at the inside of the KLH 195. So first off here, we have the DIMM memory here. These are a real pain in the butt to remove because of this black bracket here. It's really hard to remove these. So I think these are, in total, they're running about 1 meg of RAM. And according to the manual, it says it's upgradable to 4 megs of RAM, but I don't have any other memory right now to test out, so that's pretty much it right now for memory. So here we have the processor. Not sure if you can see it there. 286. It is I don't think you can remove this processor, but maybe you can, but I haven't tried. So as you can see there, it says 12 megahertz. There's a slot here for the coprocessor, but it doesn't have one right now. Then we have the BIOS here, and this here is the dip switch settings for this motherboard, where you can set settings to, for example, onboard VGA, which apparently this computer, it should have come with onboard VGA installed, but for some reason this model didn't. And then we have a couple more settings here. It's hard to see a bit here. Let's turn it around. A couple jumper settings here for the serial port, I believe. Can zoom in a bit there. Yeah, so this is the pins for the serial port, and it has a riser card, as you can see here. And I haven't seen one of these riser cards, especially the ones with has an onboard IDE connection there. But for some reason I can't get this IDE connector to work. I don't have a drive that's old enough, you know, for this model. It did come with a 40 meg drive from the factory, but yeah, that drive was defective, and the BIOS settings isn't very helpful for adding new hard drives. So what I've done instead is I've added one of these, the XT IDEs. So it has a 4 gigabyte CF card right now. So this is what I'm using to boot the computer into DOS and to install games and whatnot. So it's been working pretty good. So yeah, there's not much to see here on the riser card. I believe it should just come out. There we go. Yeah, so this is a riser card with the IDE connector on the side, and I've kind of put an external battery here to keep the BIOS settings, but I'm having issues with it because for some reason some of the settings aren't being saved. Not exactly sure why, but yeah, I'm gonna probably solve that later on. Interestingly, that there's also an onboard floppy drive controller built into the motherboard. Not sure if I've seen 286 with that type of setting. So currently this is working. This floppy drive controller is working. You'll have to excuse my really bad job here. Basically, I couldn't find a long enough cable to display the hard drive light activity in the front of the case, and that cable connects into the XT IDE right here. So it'll display the yellow blinking light at the front, the hard drive activity light. So yeah, I'm gonna probably try to find a longer cable, or try to maybe weld this one properly. Right now it's just using electrical tape, but it's doing the job so far. And over here we have the oscillator. There's two of them, and let's take a look at the back of the computer. Alright, so see over here, we're supposed to have the VGA out here, but for some reason the owner opted not to include the onboard VGA. Not sure why. Then we have the printer port, and we have 25-pin serial port, which is kind of unusual. Usually you have the 9-pin. And we have here connection for a bus mouse, apparently. Not really a PS2 connector there, but we have a PS2 keyboard connector, and that's also a bit unusual for a 286. Usually you see these with a wider keyboard pin there. Power supply is your standard AT connector. I haven't had a chance to inspect the power supply, but But yeah, I haven't had any issues, but I will do a full rundown on it one of these days. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was this card here, the Sound Blaster Pro. The Sound Blaster CT 1600. It's a pretty good card, great sound, and what's great about it is that you can configure the jumper settings right from the card. You don't need a 386 to run this card. It will run on a 286, maybe even on an XT, not sure. But yeah, it's a great card. You can install a CD-ROM in here as well, which I have, but yeah, there's no point on running a CD-ROM on a 286. And let's take a look at the back. I labeled the speaker port there, and it has a volume control, joystick port, video in, audio out. And here is the EGA card I'm using. It's Chips. It's by Chips, I believe. Great card. Has some dip settings in the back. So yeah, so let's put everything back together and let's take a look at the games.